All right, Bulls and Bears, we are back. It is Saturday, December 17th, 2022. Today, let's talk about some phrases that are going around, and are we on the brink of a major change in the price of automobiles, and especially used automobiles. Today, we're going to take a look at Carvana and a major shift that's happening now with Carvana and in the car lending industry that I think is going to give us some shed some light on what's headed towards this economy, especially in used automobiles, cars and trucks here in the next few months. I'd say within the first 6 months of 2023. So first, here are a couple of the trending phrases that I'm seeing out there in social media land. Carvana's final days. We're going to talk about that, what's happening with Carvana. And are used car prices ready to tumble? Well, let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, with Carvana. First, let's take a look right here at Carvana's website traffic, Carvana.com. Traffic has plunged over the past month over 44%. So that is likely a major drop-off in advertising. You don't usually see the demand for a vehicle drop off that much. Yes, the winter months are slower typically, but not that big of a drop-off. Usually it's 15% down from a month prior as we get into the winter months. 10-15% is typical. But 44%, that tells us that the advertising department has really pulled back on pushing out Carvana ads. Now, let me know if you've seen a lot of Carvana ads, or are you noticing less Carvana ads recently versus what you've seen over the past couple years? I've definitely seen less. And this drop-off in website traffic is very telling. And let's get down here into the numbers a little bit. September of this year, 28.2 million. October, 28.8 million. It actually increased as we got into the fall. But then come November, a plunge down to about 10 million, or no, 16 million rather. So a huge drop off. And that's one of the signs that we see from companies as they approach the end. I'm not saying they're going to go bankrupt next week or next month, but as they get close to the end, what do? They start cutting advertising, cutting costs. They start cutting staff, laying people off. And to kind of put this in an example of a retail store, we saw, remember Kmart before they went under, the aisles were all messy, stuff laying everywhere. You couldn't find an employee to help you. We saw it recently here, and we noted back in February how Bed Bath & Beyond looked really messy, understaffed, unkept, and now we see a slew of Bed Bath & Beyond stores going out of business and closing doors. Is it the same thing happening with Carvana? Is Carvana on its last days? Well, take a look at what's happened in the stock, down over 95% since the peak. Now, also, kind of an automobile industry insider, someone that I follow, Car Dealership Guy, put this out just recently. Carvana may have just quietly started liquidating. The company is now advertising its retail inventory to wholesale dealers. And that goes right along with the huge drop-off in website traffic, right? Typically, they advertise to retail buyers, right? Just mom and pop buyers, people like you and me. But now they're going towards wholesale. That means they want to unload a lot of vehicles at wholesale prices. And he gives an example right here. The company is now advertising its retail inventory to wholesale dealers. Look at the $5,000 price difference. And here's an example right here. 2022 Nissan Frontier. And what do we see right here? We see the retail advertisement just on the website, $35,990, but wholesale, and this is put out through Manheim, bidding starts at $30,900. So it's similar to a vehicle auction where a lot of used car dealers get their vehicles. So this looks to me like the end days or the final days for Carvana. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. With the huge drop off in the website traffic, which means advertising likely dropping off significantly, and these wholesale offerings now of these vehicles. Let's take a look at a little bit more here. All right, and let's take a look here at some of the other huge discount prices when you look at the bid offering here through the auctions here. 2022 Buick Encore, current bid $23,400. 2022 Chevy Camaro, $36,800. 2022 Camaro, also $35,800. 2022 Chevy Trailblazer, $26,900. much lower prices than what we see advertised over for just the regular buyers. Also, Carvana stock really tells a story. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. We see the stock reached a peak of over $360 in August of 2021. So here we are less than a year and a half later, down to $5, right around $5 a share, right? So people that chase this stock are really, really kicking themselves right now, right? But that was the shutdown economy. A lot of times dealers weren't even open. If they were open, people were scared to go to the dealers. They were scared to interact, to shake hands with people, come face to face with people. And stocks like Carvana took off, where you could buy a vehicle online, have it delivered to you. And now it appears to be the end of days for Carvana. Again, please let me know what you think down in the comments here. Now, according to some recent information that I looked up here, Carvana has an inventory of roughly 70,000 vehicles. So what's going to happen when we see thousands upon thousands of vehicles get sold off in the wholesale market to other dealers at a marked down price? Well, that means there's going to be a huge wave of inventory and dealers looking to get rid of this inventory. Of course, they're still going to mark it up some from what they paid for Carvana, but this definitely means lower prices going forward, in my opinion. The first 6 months of 2023, I think we're going to see prices drop much more rapidly than we saw compared to the last 6 months of 2022, which was between 5 and 10% on average for used vehicles. All right, so this is good news, and it shows that we were correct here in waiting to buy. Now, of course, there's still cash buyers out there, people that don't care if the price goes down because they have so much money they can just go pay cash for a vehicle. That's not most people, though. That's just people in the top 10, 20, 30%. But if you're somebody that is concerned about your budget and you don't want to drive a vehicle where you're underwater, where it's worth less than what you owe on the loan, which is never a good feeling, but that's historically what a vehicle purchase is. When you buy it, it drops value as soon as you go off the lot. This last couple of years with the shortages of the chips, supply chains, etc., things were turned upside down and backwards, where vehicle prices were going up. So you could buy a vehicle, turn around and sell it a year later and make a profit, which is wacky when you look at historical norms. Most people know this, right? So we're back to car prices depreciating. And not only that, now with all this surge of inventory that we're going to see, as far as we could tell, huge inventory surge from these Carvana cars selling off into the wholesale market. We're going to see bigger price drops down the road. So those that waited on this purchase, and a car is the second most or the second biggest purchase that most people will make in their lifetime, besides or aside from a home, which is the biggest. So good news to those that have been on this channel and waited and knew that prices were bound to correct here. And also, when it comes to Carvana buying up so many vehicles over the past few years, that was another inflationary force on top of the low interest rates, on top of all the shortages, chip shortages, supply chain, hard to find new cars. So now the opposite's happening. Now the boom is turning into a bust in the used vehicle market. Flood of inventory going into the market. Now, let me give you some inside information as far as lending goes for vehicles. Lending institutions now, vehicle lenders, are waiving some of the credit criteria. So usually when someone is behind on their car loan, that's a negative thing and it makes it harder to get a loan. Now, that's still true for the most part. But what we're seeing now out of certain lenders that specialize in automobile loans is they're now turning a blind eye to vehicle loans that are underwater. Yes, you heard that right. Turning a blind eye to vehicle loans that are late and underwater. That way they can still finance a different vehicle, because what they're looking at is the person buying the new vehicle is likely going to default on their old vehicle that's underwater and not default on the new vehicle loans, right? So it's shenanigans that's keeping the lending going. It's basically a loosening of the lending standards. Right, so it's almost like a dog-eat-dog type of thing, where the banks are kind of turning on each other, where one bank looks at it as a good risk now because they know that the purchaser of the vehicle that they're going to be financing is less likely to default on the new loan versus the old loan that they're already underwater in. But it's only a matter of time before the further depreciation of vehicle prices affects even loans that are being originated right now today, because like I said, in the next 6 months, we're going to see even bigger price drops in vehicles. And at the end of the day, what does this mean? This means a wave of car repossessions coming up in the next 6 months. Yes, I'm making the prediction right here. You guys know I've been pretty accurate on my predictions, right? When it comes to timelines. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow or next week, but I can tell you usually within a 6 month to a year time frame, pretty good. We've nailed a lot of things here on this channel. If you've been on this channel, you know that pretty well. The next 3 to 6 months, again, I'm predicting a huge wave of defaults and car repossessions, which is going to add to the downward price pressure in used vehicles. All right. So I hope you guys like this update. Please let me know what you think down in comments here. And before I wrap this one up today, I want to give a couple quick shout outs to supporters of this channel. Thank you for your tips, your coffee money, and your super thanks. Hirosha Ashima, I think I got that right. Blue Steel, thank you very much. And DJ Jojo, thank you so much for your support of this channel. I really appreciate you supporting my work here and coming back to the channel and seeing your comments and seeing you engage in this channel. Thank you very much. And one last thing, this one goes out to Alex. I believe it's Alex Russo over in New Mexico. He wanted to see the Bull Boom fist slap. Ready? So thanks everybody for watching. Bull Boom Bear Bust. That's for Alex. I'm not going to do that every episode. Just for you, Alex. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, everybody, and peace.